Now when it starts to get cold outside, kind of like it is here where I live, in fact it's already snowed, it's time to make soups, stews, and chilies and foods that keep us warm. So today we are making beef stew with dumplings. We're going to keep the recipe fairly simple here. We're using our stew meat, of course, and then we got some potatoes and carrots and onions. We're going to be flavoring it with garlic and fresh rosemary and thyme, a little tomato paste, and of course, homemade beef stock. In fact, I need to make that video for you guys. Homemade beef stock. Stay tuned for that one, it's coming up soon. But for now, let's get to this recipe and let's make it happen. All right, to start off, you're going to get about 2 pounds of stew meat. I'm just using some chuck meat here. Now spread it out and then season it generously with sea salt, black pepper, and some garlic powder on both sides. Now add about 2 tablespoons or so of flour to the meat and mix it together until it's coated. Now you can skip this step, but I personally think this part is crucial. We're going to sear our meat on both sides. So get your pot on, place some butter or oil in your pot, and then place the meat in there, being careful not to overcrowd it. Let the meat sear for about 2 to 3 minutes on each side. Then remove it, set it aside, and start your second batch. Now let's get our vegetables going. Roughly chop up a large onion, put a little more oil in your pan, and throw those in there and start sauteing. Then peel and roughly chop about 4 to 5 carrots. Next, roughly chop up about 3 cups of potatoes. I'm using golden potatoes here because they tend to hold together well while slow cooking. Now pick apart and dice up about a teaspoon worth of fresh rosemary. Now season your vegetables with about 2 teaspoons of sea salt and about a teaspoon of black pepper. Then add about 4 cloves of crushed garlic and 2 teaspoons of tomato paste. Now finally, add your meat back into the pot. And then pour in 2 quarts of beef stock. You want to have enough liquid so that it covers all of your meat. Now turn the temperature up to high and bring the stew to a simmer. Once it reaches a simmer, turn the temperature down to low. Throw 2 sprigs of fresh thyme in there. Then cover your stew with a lid and let it simmer on low for 2 hours. Alright, it's time to start our dumpling batter. First we're going to start with some herbs, some fresh herbs. I have some parsley and chives. Simply dice that up and set it aside. Now the batter starts with 1 cup of flour, then 2 teaspoons of baking powder, half teaspoon of sea salt, and then add your fresh herbs, and using your hand, mix that together. Then add 1 tablespoon of butter at room temperature. Now using your hand, break up the butter and mix it well into the flour until it almost has a grainy feeling. Next, add 1/3 cup of milk. Again, mix with one hand. And if you need to add a little bit more milk, go ahead and do so. You want your dough to be sticky. You don't want to over knead it or compress it. You want to leave it airy, and when it all comes together, it should look something like this. Once you're done, place a towel over it and set it aside. After 2 hours of cooking, your stew should be smelling amazing. Go ahead and find those stems of thyme and remove them. And then we are ready to put our dumplings in. Place your batter next to your pot, and then using a spoon or your hands, just scoop and place. You don't need to form a ball or anything, just scoop it and place it in. The size should be about a golf ball or smaller. Now you have two choices here. If you want your dumplings to be crispy on the top, you place your whole pot in the oven at 350 degrees with the lid off. Or the way I'm doing it here, you just put the lid on and let them steam, and this needs to cook for about 20 minutes. After 20 minutes, your dumplings will be done and your stew will be hot and ready to serve. We'll get it served up here, and then we'll check to see if the kids will eat it. Garnish with parsley for some freshness. The meat is pull-apart tender, and the dumplings are pillowy soft all the way through. This is going to be delicious. All right, let's give this a taste, guys. That is so good.
Yeah. Double thumbs up.
Well, that meat is so tender. This is real comfort food. You guys like it?
Yeah. Yeah.
You think they should make this at home?
Yeah. Make sure to like and subscribe.
Good luck. We'll see you next time.